I want to welcome you and I want to thank you for joining us for the 12th Annual AARP-UN Briefing Series during the 63rd Commission on the Status of Women. We're proud to work with the United Nations to bring aging issues to the forefront of global public discourse.
By 2050, the number of women over age 60 will be over 1 billion. And around the world, there'll be 123 women for every 100 men age 60 and over. So the odds are in our favor, ladies. Around the globe, most older women lack access to pensions, and for the few that do, they receive benefits that are lower. If you work less, you earn less, you save less, you're going to have less when you retire. Yet women still live longer than men. So whatever savings they do have, they need to stretch even further.
As women tend to live longer than men, they make up the majority of older persons, particularly at advanced ages. The global gender pay gap is not due to close until 2086. This means women tend to contribute less to pension schemes.
We're now going to have our panel discussion, so I want to ask our panelists to start making their way up to the stage. I wanted to begin the conversation just hearing about the potential.
Much greater efforts and investments are needed to really making sure that everyone actually has a right to social security and social protection. I mean, it is a human right, but it is also a precondition for economic and social development.
Let us be under no illusions. We are living in a full-on backlash against many human rights. The global human rights situation is very grim. We know that women are discriminated against, and we know that older people are discriminated against. So there is a double discrimination there. And one of the best things that have come out in terms of human rights in the last few years are the Sustainable Development Goals and the mantra in that of leave no one behind. It could certainly include for elder women, and I would very much encourage everybody to use that.
We hear this phrase, leave no one behind, now very consistently. I think it's been a big success of the Sustainable Development Goals. But the challenge is you need to first even be kind of on people's list of groups that people are aware of before you can even consider not being left behind. And in a lot of our reporting, we never really hear about older women in particular as a group.
It's scandalous, really, when it comes to the lack of thought and the lack of planning and the lack of resources that are focused on older people. There are UN agencies downgrading the amount of work they're doing on older people. That when you don't include older people in the agenda, older women are disproportionately affected by this.
People don't know even the basics. They don't even know why they're not on the list, or they don't care, because who wants to be an older woman anyway? There's
a pay gap. I think it was 2086 was the number we heard when the pay gap will be ended, and I saw a lot of people kind of look up from their plates thinking, 2086, is that a typo in the speech? And I think it's right. The pay gap is that significant. So we have that issue, which affects the contributions into pension systems.
And I think what is needed is really a much stronger recognition how much social protection is not a cost, but it's really an investment. Many countries have pension credits, care credits for pensions in place, which means that certain periods that people spend on care, on child care, or on long-term care, that they're being recognized and valued in the pension system, so that people are treated in the pension system as if they were in paid employment doing that.
Even now, advanced countries should start being able to take into account the fact that women have contributed in other ways than through the formal economy and contributing into pension schemes. So I would hope that that's the way to go.
People believed that there was some golden age of retirement when everyone had one of these wonderful pensions, and that never existed. Only half the workforce has ever been covered by a pension. That's the bigger issue, I think, is educating the millennials and others that, there was never this golden age, and we have to fix this. We've waited, many generations to try to make this work.
Today, I ask you all to flag older women's rights, their needs, their capacities, their experiences, and their preferences. Let's lean in and double down. The time is now. Thank you.